And one of the great times you can have running around playing in rock and roll bands is occasional trip to jail for whatever infraction you might have occurred in your presence. But we were minding our business one evening. We was getting ready to play. It was a Saturday night. We had a 2 weeks of 5-nighter, and this was our Saturday night of our last week. It was in Sedalia, I think. And this girl had a situation going on where she apparently maybe her family owned this three-story building where she had a restaurant and a bar on the ground floor, and the second floor was another bar and a dance floor on the second floor. And then on the third floor she kept apartments up for people to rent. And consequently she put her bands up in that space on the third floor. But there came an occurrence where we ended up in jail, the infraction being a joint that the apartments were weird up there. In the hallway, you could look into people's apartments if they didn't have the curtains closed. And there was a window, and they peeked in and saw us. Saw the drummer. He was sitting on the back of the couch rolling a joint out of some green old homegrown weed. And so these people who saw him went and told the police, and the police stormed the apartment, bashed the door in, had their guns drawn. There was a half dozen city police had their guns out, and proceeded to check through our hair and made us take our boots off and found some vitamins and stuff. And they thought they had really hit it big. We were big time criminals. And I told them, check that out. It's vitamin C and vitamin D or something. And they were in capsules, so they looked like speed drugs, black beauties or something like that. But so there we were headed for the county jail, and we had a gig to play. City jail, not the county. There's two different places. We went to both of them, but the first one we went to the city bank jail where the chief of police said, "What are you boys doing in town?" And here they are with their detective hats on and all dressed like troopers, and thought they'd made the big strike of the season, getting this bunch of hippies rounded up, put in jail. So we had to call this girl that had hired us to do this gig. It was our last night of a 2-week gig. And she went and got her attorney and came down to the jail, and they made a deal where they'd turn us loose to go play the gig, since we had signed a contract. So we'd go play our gig, and then we had to go back to jail for the rest of the weekend. And that's when they swapped us over to county jail and kept all our hash pipes and this and that and the other like that. And they had to turn us loose. I think maybe it cost a couple $100 to get us out. But we were on bail or whatever that is when you get in trouble. so we just had to be clean for a year, and we got by with having some weed. So that was one of the big things that can happen to you. Running around playing in bands, smoking weed and drinking whiskey.